5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Radiant team pick.
Dazzle.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to ban. Puck!
Welcome back, everybody. Game number 2 here on the cards between Planet Dog, our first qualified team for ESL 1 Katowice. Gareth going insane here as we get ourselves
5
draft.
seconds remaining.
Dota 2 is about to happen. Well,
Radiant
already
team ban.
pointed out. Smart here. Shadow Shaman.
OG's turn to ban.
Yeah, Planet Dog tried to get fly out of his comfort. First picking this out. Every series that we've had the pleasure to cast, And Fly's like, ha ha ha, trying to get me out of my comfort zone? No, sir. And he just picks Dazzle. Dazzle's
10
tanking.
seconds remaining.
I do believe the bans are fairly similar.
5 seconds remaining.
And I know that they OG played it as a.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I've been
believe.
asleep all day.
Yeah, I believe they played Naga as a. How Jarek's
They've definitely done it. Like the past couple of weeks, they've times. I
Yeah.
think they've had no tail not once a month. What I looked at on a
Oh,
the
yeah,
other day.
it was the cap.
It may have been capped.
Yeah.
I mean, OG, no Earth Spirit. A big reason here why OG would be like, okay, they've got Shadow Shaman, so we're going to respond with Dazzle and Earth Spirit.
It has a bit to do with like heroes provide. Rasta compared to Dazzle, just straight up, there's a huge. Normally with Shadow Shaman, you always have damage. The only thing you really need. And the best hero in the game for that, Earth Spirit. Long range on all of his spells. So he really sets up for that.
10 seconds remaining.
I think maybe knowing that he wanted to pick Dazzle for himself, he decides to go
5 seconds remaining.
feels better. Thanking. I think that's probably they kind of dog ban out. I think it was Virtus Pro. They ran a safe lane DK against us. And they just know they have this matchup that is great. And if they put the mid, then they put off lane, they put the DK off lane. So, I mean, safe lane. So they get that matchup. And it seems like Planet ban out the DK. And OG go with a big nighttime. Not wanting to deal.
Rid of a Matt the push. Night Stalker's crippling here against the Dazzle hero from the game, pretty much. Nasty. Brewmaster taken out. S4 hero could also be noted. Brewmaster a little bit of time, but I really want to see a Huskar. Saw it the other day. It didn't do particularly well.
Remaining.
I can't remember who it was, but it was a Huskar Oracle.
Evil Corp.
Evil Corp, yeah.
5 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
It didn't look particularly impressive, but their opponent nicely. You think back to the Frank Major
Yeah.
with Miracle.
Yeah.
They were doing the old IO Dazzle, the double defensive supports behind the Huskar. That was some. It was against Alliance as well, wasn't it? Because Alliance had an Arcade Chen and they were winning like 12-0 very early on. And then Huskar got his armlet brown boots, OG 5-man bot lane, and they just won the game.
Yeah.
Happened. Always fun. For me, it maybe not for. That's a hero we don't see too often. Assassin comes out, a vision hero for sure.
Yeah.
Dota, maybe we see Nyx move in and out of the 3 and 4 role to get some running. Double int heroes against Puck. Nyx, very, very.
Remaining.
Yeah, Nyx is a very interesting hero against Puck because every time you orb his Puck, you have this fear in your back of your mind. So you might just use your phase shift to avoid that. You know, you have a counterplay inbuilt in your hero. It also like makes it so you play in the set way where every time you orb, you escapes at the same. Just in order to not get like carapace from invis. It's a good, very good hero against Puck. The mana drain does a lot of heroes. And yeah, I was thinking about this Night Stalker ban. In general, when you play against a hero like Dazzle or any kind of save, the main problem is that this hero is going to stand so far back that you can't see him. And in doing so, it's really hard to kill anyone without that save going off. So normally what you want to do is you want to have vision tools to deal with this Dazzle, scout him out and. But right now, Planet Dog, they don't really have too much to do that. It's only the orb from the. I would like them to pick a way to, spot out this Dazzle.
Earthshaker, a Milan special. Here. He gets his Blink Dagger at a reasonable time. He can maybe be that one hero to jump at Dazzle and slam him and make
10 seconds remaining.
Druid for OG. Pick up there.
5 seconds remaining.
No tail. S4 Nick feeling his hands, leaving Resolution's hero until the dog. Rounding out their draft here pretty nicely. They've got combos, they've got setup. Earthshaker's Fisher very good from Fog to try and get in on top of some of these OG heroes like the Lone Druid, and now Lifestealer having that infest partner with the puck. Got a lot of burst damage in that catch and kill power. Them up and convert into objectives. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something missing in PD's draft. Can't quite put my finger on it.
5 seconds
It just
remaining.
looks like they've got one super strong lane with like a lifesteal around, and then the others maybe suffer a little.
I think one of the reasons present in lanes, he can provide this block off, but he doesn't really do much in terms of, unless your laners have a lot of, it feels like he can only really be used for defense behind the shadow, preventing him from dying. But for me, the bigger issue in this draft is when you go for this kind of like team fight style draft, like take, you need to be able to see the heroes you want to go on. But OG have set themselves assassin, and they had Lone Druid Bear, which are going to be in front of them all the time and just scouting out these heroes and not allowing them to find those jumps that they were, at least making it a lot harder. So
Canceling, scouting you out.
Exactly. And another advantage of having like Lone Druid up against Puck is his bear, like, it has an Aegis. Like, it basically has an inbuilt Aegis at all. So if you blow spells to kill it, he just spawns a new one and sends it in. And then Shaker and Puck, you know, they want to go in and out. They want to use their spells, get out, go in, and do these things. But Lone Druid's not putting himself in danger to these spells. So I think this is feels really like if I'm playing this draft, I would way rather be OG. I feel like I have all the tools I want to scout things out and set up the game to be the way that I want it to. I can make the better decisions, the information.
And you have the ultimate pick, the last pick, try and counteract what PD pick up. We've kind of
10 seconds remaining.
talked about, touched on the power here with Planet Dog kind of in that third, fourth spot. Kind of meant to pick a hero or a couple of heroes that have multiple avenues to go down that aren't really. It doesn't feel like they've levied enough influence in this draft to have this final pick kind of snap into action. Here to maybe not salvage this draft, but really make it, you know, pick into place. Shadow Fiend, you mentioned the ES sitting behind the SF there, be that defensive tool. Go for. So Puck likely moving into that off-lane role. Set up for themselves, but now OG with the final pick to them all.
10 seconds
Solutions hero. What do you feel here is going to
5 seconds remaining.
I'm down to see Huskar.
It's really not Huskar against Lifestealer SF. Earthshaker, Shadow Shaman.
I could see it work. But I think in that case it should be Tail Huskar. And then you let the Lone Druid be the carry. Like he plays his support in mid.
Just
not
jump at your enemies.
Yeah. I think the one thing that I do see is team throughout Planet Dog, they really want to have this pick off presence all across the map to be able to make sure that these heroes are not feeling safe. Use the fact that whenever they're applying a lot of pressure, simply not doing anything, not showing on the map, making OG have this thought in the back of their head that, oh my god, I might be. And they've managed to do that very well in this game. When you look at their heroes from last game, it was, we want to have the pick that needs to be in. But OG's adjustment is probably like a bit more vision intense draft. They had the Brood last game, but I think between Nyx and Lone Druid's Bear and EA's traps, just have a lot of ways to scout these things, make themselves feel safer. Or just basically make less fog, so it's harder.
Have that information advantage. EA solution. Not a hero that we see often. Definitely when you've got, again, you have this Fly Dazzle, you know, see the IO, we see Shadow Shaman in the previous game. Sit mid for a little bit, help the TA out, definitely the strong lane here. Shadow Shaman. and SF. What they do, but it's going to be the stacking of the Ancients and the jungle camps behind Resolution's TA that will help out significantly. Maybe to catch up, maybe to overtake your opponent. Game number 2 here, best of 3, OG leading to nothing. Sand King. Gonna be Jirax on the next assassin. A vision hero, like we're talking about, hunting people down, looking for those carapace plays onto the puck. Shaker. Desperate to get a blink. Those echoes in onto this squad. All eyes really on this Resolution TA, because there's a lot that can go right. There's also a lot that can go wrong for a Templar. Very low ball and very peak and trough hero, right? You can hit these high highs, but you can these real low lows if you don't get an early Roche, if you don't have Ancients to stack and farm, or if your stacks get stolen, for instance. Templar Assassin can fall behind and needs a bit of a grace period to try and farm and catch. Very reliant on items. Not a hero that with just skill set can do stuff. Deso, Blink, kind of required to play this.
Yeah, she's like a very timing, very timing based. I think the good thing about Lone Druid and TA, they kind of want opposite. Lone Druid wants to be left to do his own thing, and he has a similar item timing as TA. About the same cost as that Blink Desolator. About the same, not exactly. They fall into like, that's good, and then you have this TA that wants to get all the attention in the world. All of these stats, and in that way, this draft really makes a lot of sense. You have this position 5 hero that's really opened up to play around mid, protect this TA, allow him to have a good game, and stack and do all these things that TA wants. These two cores actually pretty well with each other, and especially in a game where Vision going up against.
I'm waiting for the OG tri lane mid.
Oh, it's coming.
To be honest, it is right. Coming. Full Sand King. Battling away there with Milan's Earthshaker. 3 heroes here from PD, set defensively around this bounty rune, but OG not finding a kill.
30 seconds to battle.
Back away towards their lanes as normal. So we've got Mag with a double mantle. The double null there on the puck off lane. Anya, Shadow Fiend. His real big heroes. Relatively new hero, new player, sorry, that kind of burst onto the scene recently, playing with EPG, playing with some of these Balkan Serb stacks, but found himself here on PD, has definitely shown that incredibly skilled player. A pretty nice hero pool going up against potentially a tri-lane mid, but Fly in a little bit of trouble, gets the Shadow Wave off, and the Fisher blocks him away from any further damage. Very nicely done there. Fly gets away, but still pressure from PD. They force the Dazzle to go back to base and then maybe waste the TP to come into mid. Why you see Jirax sitting in here. Give Revolution easier early lane stay.
Yeah, and OG actually managed to get the 4-rune dream here by doing quite an interesting. They actually ran with that's off. But he's seen. Yeah, they actually made an interesting play by moving 5 heroes down bottom, throwing themselves bottom on, and then making their presence, and then running immediately top with 2 others. But unfortunately, they were scattered out by this room. Still managed to get those.
Pretty nice with the Resolution. Fisher blocked away from his creep wave is nice from PD. But also nice for OG is the fact that Lone Druid is able to reset all of this creep equilibrium by dragging with his bear and then farming with his hero in between the tier 1 tier 2 due to what Mag has done. Fail will be able to regain control of his lane. Clicked a little bit. Fisher in onto Jirax. Still level 1 SF, so no raises are coming. Harass. Jacob being a little bit annoying for OG to handle.
Yeah, I believe he only had clarities and boost. SF's caught.
In level 1, it's going to take 2 hits from Resolution to finish it off, and the salve arrives in time. Good Fisher from Milan. Might be able to turn this one. Rania does have the raises, but a tango through. Rezo be just fine.
Yeah, and bottom lane, Leicester's caught right now, but S4 and Fly combination.
A big pause. What's he got? He's level 2, doesn't have raid. Salve and tangos. 170 HP, but Poison Touch is coming out in onto Dijura. The Shackles will hold S4 away. But it looks like Dichira, this Tango regen will be barely enough to ape him for this safety threshold.
It's a... So I, both, as well as you, expect tri-lane mid, but OG outsmarting both of us. Really, you know, abusing the fact that Rasta wants to be able to zone out this offlaner, but he's a lot less strong. You can't just stand behind that way too much game. Having Fly down here is giving S4 a much better game than probably Planet Dog expected him to have. And this is something I think they do quite a lot, where, you know, they really put priority on making sure that they're...
And then they force Dichira and J4 to come in, contest the pull, drag the wave back, burn through a bit of regen as mid lane Baranya pasted up, getting away from the grasp of OG. Did launch a stun his way, but Shadow Fiend running low on regen, has the tangos, but no burst regen here, no stick. And this means he's going to get jumped by Jirax. The refraction from Resolution needs to splash off the range creep, not quite going to land it. And Jirax now in an awful lot of trouble. Carapace is gone, and the SF Rays will secure the first blood. PD exploiting the fact that OG felt that behind that kill with a good little reaction TP from Milan to save the day.
Yeah, nice little play from Milan, having that TP. To be able to always back up that is really his main job. This kill is definitely gonna...
Man, you just take a quick look at bottom. S4, he's played aggressively into this, but he's got 6 stick charges to try and outplay Dichira, who's being turned on by Fly, but J4, that's 2 points in that. Shock will get the turnaround kill, and Dichira surviving that shield and the tangos, keeping himself again just above death. 50 HP he'll survive at and Fly away. 4 returns to this lane again. You do have to think about these other lanes, you know, No Tail up at top, farming away, 16 and 8. Mag is having a decent time up here as well, but by no means the kind of completely free lane. He's have to drag these waves across, make some space for himself. Start to be a little bit more worried about these entangling claws from Lone Druid as he hits into level 5 now. 3 points in there. Home, heal it up, bring a clarity out, TP back. Tough.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Dichira has still not managed. So even though they got this kill on S4, S4 is actually back in this lane way before. So what might sound weird, I actually think this play is ending up favoring OG.
That one death?
Yeah, even like it's missing a lot of time from OG recognizing this.
Especially with the courier usage. Yeah. So often that kind of goes forgotten now, where expected or felt like for a long time, for the longest time, courier belongs to the mid laner for like the first 10 minutes potentially. But now with the side shop changing, mid laners maybe going for bottles a little less often. Now you can't bottle throw and stuff like that. Side lane courier usage is becoming a little more common, but when Baranya is being pressured super hard by a Nyx and a TA, he needs to keep bringing out Salve. He's Ango's bringing his bottle out, aiming for the boots. So it's kind of been overutilized by the Shadow Fiend just because OG have this pressure on all 3 lanes. Comes down to, again, like you were saying, Fly in this bottom lane. Now Jirax, in fact, has arrived. Make this an aggressive tri-lane. Give S4 the best time we could ever imagine as they start with the burrow into Impale. Very nicely chained into that Shadow Wave from Dazzle. And it looks like Dichira's going to get popped here. S4 is dropping low, but he's got the 1 charges to keep on going forward. J4 getting dived here. Jirax and S4 thinking about it, but they'll clear the wave. And with the catapult coming forward, the tier 1's going to take a significant amount of damage.
Yeah, and OG, they're so good about this. They always make sure that on the catapult wave, they make this rotation. The exact same thing happened the last game with the Enigma, where both supports rotated into his lane. And make sure that this catapult just does a lot of damage to them.
Now S4 cuts the wave as well. Like, what are you going to do about this? Got the shackles after the burrow strike. Decent amount of damage coming in, but Fly, brave, no mana for it. He's already used that Shadow Wave. Milan's trying to get in here with another enchant, but S4 too quick on his feet. Milan with the 360, spinning on the spot. Could have done more there. Nice attempt.
And another added bonus of that gank was they managed to time it with Lifestealer's TP. He didn't have his TP up. And you can really tell there's a huge difference how much pressure the respective carries have been getting. No Tail sitting at 34 CS and Pitcher only at 19. And this is all due to the fact that OG supports have done a great job of moving.
Completely untouched. Catapult with the Spirit Bear. Tier 1 taking a lot of damage, and this is something Puck struggles to deal with as the first hit entangling claws. Puck down to half HP. Force the Tango up. Does have the double nulls, but no further regen, and No Tail very focused. Bringing down this tower. Mags looking for the deny, but damage raw will send him back. Iraq lurking down towards the south side of this Puck. Going to be action on multiple lanes, it looks like. PD are trying to fish for something mid, but they've been spotted. The Star Observer Ward up here. Right next to it. They've not quite seen it. A little bit off from where it maybe usually is.
Overall, just a lot of like really high level plays here from the way that they're moving their where they're deciding. Creating a lot of opportunity. When you're watching a game like this, it looks so simple. Like I'm watching this, wow, how come we don't play like? And then you just realize like there's a chain of all these. Meanwhile, they were making that rotation bottom again. You know, No Tail keeping his catapult alive, making sure he get that pressure. Now they're sitting very comfortably. 2k gold lead. Bottom tower is in danger of dying. They're locking heroes into, and at the same time, No Tail's already claimed the tower, pulled back his lane.
1500 net worth lead over the lifesteal, you know, comparing the two one rolls here. And it's the difference between like a Midas recipe, right? You see the Gloves of Haste on the lifestealer, and he might be considering Hand of Midas. Could of course be that armlet to start things off, but bottom lane, the Burrow Strike onto the Shadow Shaman allows Flyer to get the damage in with that Poison Touch. And Storm into the Dream Coil. S4 in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to try and TP out with the Grave. They've got no more stuns, and they're going to get him out. Fly will lose his own life for it, but well worth it as they bring the Puck down here. Tier 1 just in deny range, though. Be a nice little PD to grab themselves. Lifestealer finally gets up on the board, gets involved.
It's such a huge play, actually, from Dazzle to be there in time to do that. And during all this time, you got to look at what everybody else is doing as Jerax gets a triple stun mid to get himself out of. But yeah, during all this time, you know, Resolution maybe have the best Shakers sitting mid and things just not going their way. But they were stacking camps in the jungle. Now he's in the jungle free farming and not getting any pressure. Just because like this movement from this, I cannot
compare it to this Rasta and Earthshaker. Milan's got a long way to go until that blink. Soul Ring. Definitely going to be thinking of this game for him. Seeing now S4. I pick up the drums here on the Sand King. Very much feels like what Moo was doing on Complexity not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago with his offlane. Playing heroes in general, just buying drums on everyone. Especially the Sand King, being able to fight very, very early on. Group up with your team, give you that movement speed advantage, just chase people down, and not rely on that kind of, you know, blink, surprise, initiation or counter initiation. It's much more consistent with the way you can move around with it.
And it also allows you to just requires a lot of stuff. Blink Dagger is amazing at night. It doesn't really make you tankier or, you know, in any way help you output more damage outside of like giving you a position. But with the drums being able to provide some movement speed, it also gives you Jerax's popping.
Yeah, he walks straight into them though. He will get taken down, but support tanking the gank there was potentially aiming for resolution. You know, a Shackles into Requiem. Brought that PA to her knees. PD are still trying to latch onto something more as S4 is far forward. The Hex into the chain CC here from J4. Sand King's in a lot of trouble, but he's got the Burrow Strike and the Sandstorm, but Raze finally from Barania. Sure, yet another kill.
Yeah, and this is a good play for them. They're gonna go for this tier 1. They're dropping these roster wards. And the OG have already predicted they have Jerax moving over. Already meant that our Fly is rotating over. And they're gonna try to make it.
Grouping up, getting ready. Who do they bring down though? Is this just going to be the Sand King TPing, or they consider maybe someone in addition to this. Cutting down the trees there to try and spot the TP, but Jirak starts things off. The Requiem from Barania will slow things down, but S4, oh, not able to catch on to J4. He runs himself away with the drums pop from SF. They'll force the Grave onto Fly, TPing out now. He'll say goodbye. Like the tier 1, for now at the very least, is surviving, but Resolution, he's arriving. Barania gonna get focused down a little bit there, but Rezo gives up as the TP completes. And Tiara has a Rage and a TP. Perfectly fine, but looking at this, they defend the tier 1. Serpent Wards don't get that full completion on the tower. And in the meantime, you've got No-Tail farming his absolute mind out, getting towards this Radiant.
Yeah, PD are recognizing that in this game, in order to make a big play, but really, by doing this rotation bottom, they create space for him to really enable the Shadow Fiend to assist the other heroes in getting. This is something that you notice high-level teams do, where they will use one, like, give a hero farm so that he can create farm. That's exactly what I think. Even though they don't get this tower, they force a rotation by the Earthshakers on top, which is really huge in the bigger aspect of it.
Hey Milan, you want to buy that Blink Dagger? Here's my bear. Where's the Entangle? Not coming through just yet. And it looks like Milan will escape with the help of J4 in that head. Bending the Earthshaker. Wait that. Lane TP coming through as Max starts things off. S4 2-man Burrow Strike though might be enough to get OG into this position to turn it around, but the damage from PD just too much to withstand as they find a secondary one. J4 very nicely moves from one lane to another. Solves another kill.
Yeah.
OG maybe not left with too much happiness about this, but they'll farm some stacks. They'll get some gold flying into their pockets. PD will bring down tier 1 mid at long last.
This is a really important open. Getting this tier 1 mid tower is very important. Lone Druid's closing in on that raid. He went for his death. And that means they're most likely gonna. But with this tower gone, it's gonna make it a lot easier for PD to defend. And any kind of bonus gold that they can get from right now to bring Milan closer to Blink is gonna be very, very huge.
S4, he just wants in. Every single time he sees a hero, he's Burrow Striking, juking, but they've got the Sentry barely in range as S4 overplays his hand. This time, the mind game's not working out for them. Capitalized nicely. Making plays on this Radiant side of the map as saw it, but he's not fast enough. Can't catch up to that courier. He will be able to scout out J4 here, though. Frost realizes that no high ground sentry, gets the ward down. Play there to keep the vision firmly in the hands of OG as Resolution outputs so much damage with his Deso, forward halfway to his Blink. Playing around their two big core heroes at the moment.
This upcoming Roshan fight is very, very important for the flow of the game. Basically, where both teams are going to battle. The first time in this game, both teams seem to have like tools that they want. See, Rezo's closing in on that Blink. They have that Blink on Taker, so they might. And it's really going to come down to which is able to utilize their spells and these tools better.
See ya. The debut of the Blink from Milan.
Yeah, but I actually think as OG's probably pretty happy with this. They know that this Echo Slam is down now, and that opens up Roche. They have almost 2.5 minutes to. I think that's what they're going to do as soon as Radiant's finished.
No-Tail knows the took down this tier 2 top. It is in deny range, and J4 wave has gone. Might think about that down. What's a big reason to leave towers? Because quite often we see, you know, in competitive games, let's do this the other way. In pub games, as soon as the tower's in deny range, you're like, gotta deny it. Get rid of that tower, get rid of the gold, and that's kind of the logic behind it. Remove the money from the pockets of your opponents. As No-Tail tries to stay alive here, he's very tanky, but with the open wounds to slow him, Fisher, they'll find him, delaying that Radiance by maybe, yeah, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes or so with that long respawn time.
Yeah, this is very huge, actually. When you commit an Echo Slam, managing to chain this into, again, like, it reduces 40 seconds of Echo Slam. So most likely, at this point, he will have it back up again, where OG are able to make it. With this pick, even though it's just one hero kill, what it really does is, it prevents OG from going. allowing Milan's pick off bottom to mean a lot more.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They can achieve across the map. Big old wave, triple range plus catapult. Victor are very happy with that tier 1 they're able to take down. Yeah, look, in pop games so often you see a tower in deny range and you're like, must deny. In comp games, maybe less so for tier 1s, but definitely more so for tier 2s and definitely tier 3s where there's a very obvious tactical advantage holding a tier 3 tower up. Even without healing on your towers, what's a good reason for keeping?
Mainly it has to do with left. Maybe you think that the enemy team isn't able to make a play for it. Sometimes it's very hard to get to the tower. Top lane to fight.
Like a nice TP location, I guess. To be able to catch people out as Jirax munched up by Ditura's Lifestealer. Tier 2 with the Serpent Wards on them. A pummeling, but OG want in. The weave used defensively as Resolution makes his maneuver. Courier lift up the trap placed, trying to scout it out over these trees. PD Fisher block OG away from these two TPing supports. They make their extraction very nicely.
Yeah, I feel like right now, at least in the last couple of minutes, PD are just outmaneuvering OG. They know where to find themselves. That lead to forcing OG to like play on their side of the map. I talked about this last game. How many times pickoffs led to nothing because they were happening on the... For PD this game, they've been really good about the big smoke gank here. OG committing all major here.
They have Radiant Spare, they've got Blink Deso, TA, Fly with a level 3 Grave, ready. Get in there with a Blink from the puck, catches the Dazzle, the big save target taken out of the game, and now they can lay into S4. Nothing is going to be able to keep him away from this damage or stuns. You're a nice teamfight win just outside front doorstep of Roshan. And even though No-Tail has this Radiant and they had potentially the tools here to be able to play around it, was PD that made what felt like the first move. That puck was very quickly just on top of the Dazzle.
Yeah, and they find the exact hero that they... Dazzle is probably the... You always want to try to snipe out these save heroes to get their spells. If you manage to do that, they really lose all their value. That's why you pick them. Great job by Mag finding Dazzle. If Dazzle dies, you see OG are afraid to...
So back to farming Ancients. He's got another item. The Horizon is the BKB, being purchased up a little. Fiend, what are we up to now? Full Sand and Yasha being delivered out. And a little smoke coming out from PD now as they've got the Blink Echo ready again. Puck, every spell available with a Blink and Veil already completed. They move into Roshan. You've got to expect a TA trap to be in here, so there's a sentry placed and a speedy Roshan being attempted, but OG, they've pinged, they know, and they need to move now. Smoke up as for Jirax and Viz with a Vendetta. Lone Druid Bear coming in from the northern side. OG have avenues of entrance if they can find Milan and burn his Blink, but it's going to be S4 that catches a 3-man with Jirax chaining it perfectly. OG just find the perfect opening to the team fight some way, somehow. Resolution needs to be kept alive here by Fly with a Grave coming forward, but it looks like it's all just over here as PD gets slammed.
This was very interesting. No-Tail pops up from the top side of this pit at almost the exact same time S4 starts winding up this epicenter.
Do they have vision?
I do believe, yeah, they have this board. Or maybe they planted it as...
That was so quick. I was watching No-Tail expecting him to make the first play, but S4 was just in.
And PD expected the exact same thing, and that's why they were positioned in that way. They saw No-Tail coming, and they were adapting their positioning to fight this team fight that's coming from north of the Roche pit, but OG smoking from the other side, totally catching them off guard, and the 3-man epicenter stun, followed up by Jirax's stun, kills them off right away.
Ruin. Absolutely ruin. Jirax. This is interesting.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Chaos Meteor?
Meteor Hammer. Chaos Meteor deafening blast hammer.
Too much invoker.
It really is. It's just in my head. Whenever I hear Meteor, I think
yeah.
But yeah, Meteor Hammer on Nick's Assassin. Thoughts?
Okay, so...
okay, oh, I'd love it when someone starts with an okay, so.
The other day, my position player Taiga. Oh wait, no, actually, now I remember who it was. It was Eskil talking about this. He was saying that he saw S4 by Meteor Hammer on Nyx. And because the Nyx stun is 2.8 seconds and Meteor Hammer takes 2.5, it's legit. Because you can link it perfectly.
Yeah.
So maybe he's caught Jerax's ways.
Okay. So S4 transferring knowledge bombs onto Jerax. We'll see if he completes it before the game ends. PD definitely looking to make a defense here of their high ground, but Rezo with the BKB Aegis, very difficult to bring down. So they focus on the S4. The Grave from Fly is going to be there to save the day. And now Dechira in the middle of 4 or 5 enemy heroes. Full retreat back up towards the high ground, but they've lost the tier 3. And with OG happy taking that one objective, they fall back. They've got plenty of time. 3 minutes of this Aegis to play around with. Themselves a little more map control to be able to maybe push Rack a bit harder next time. A multi-pronged attack, maybe towards the tier 2 bottom lane. Finish that one off. Same time. Definitely looking at this Lone Druid, able to Rack, split push waves. Spirit Bear, they're going to have Aghanim soon as well.
Nice little play here from using his... He spots an illusion rune, sends back his bear, radiance on his hero. Now he's going to use these two very tanky bears to push. Little things, you know?
Yeah. A lot of people just wouldn't have thought of doing that. Oh, there's an illusion rune. I'm going to pick that up.
Jerax using his fresh meme hammer in the bottom lane.
What's the cool?
I was legit
40,
thinking the exact same
40.
thing.
It's next to the mana cost.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Div Meteor Hammer. I'm looking at all the numbers. Every single other number than the one I wanted to see.
Ask me about the building impact damage. I can tell you what it is.
What's the building impact damage?
75.
Damn, dude, you're so good.
I double checked.
Nobody would have known. No one can see your screen. OG coming in. They've got bot lane all the way towards tier 3. Mid, No-Tail has to deal with it. The fact that No-Tail's showing middle lane, maybe PD feel emboldened to go in and play a little more aggressively bottom lane, but OG are just closing this net around them. Base, no safe. Piranha. No-Tail knows something's up. He's pinging. What's SF doing? Gonna get hit by the trap. Doesn't have a BKB. He's gonna have to TP away as soon as that scores hits, but Shadow Fiend is being chased down here at OG. They come back with 4 heroes. Piranha is dead for a minute while Resolution finds Milan up at the front with his BKB pop. A quick and easy kill. And it feels like PD with some drastic plays to try and, inch out of their base to get some kind of leeway, foothold in this game where OG's stranglehold has just been too strong. A couple of slip-ups.
Yeah, this game really came down. Amazing bottom lane, trying to go on the TA.
Roshan, Aegis is dead in 30, so this is perfect for Rezo, it feels like. They're going to catch all the puck entangled up at the very end as Rezo respawns. And OG up against 3 dead heroes. Sure enough, PD will have Blink Echo when the Earthshake is alive. Dechira, it does appear that he is preparing for this fight. Nice impale attempt there by Jerax. He knows that someone's coming in, so he tries the preemptive play. But OG, after these buybacks, after the respawns, they just walk back up to this ramp.
Yeah, the weave from Dazzle is on cooldown. The duration has expired, so backing off, probably just going to reset, weave themselves up. At least that's what I would do.
Rezo has his BKB soon. There's no Aegis, but shrines are open. Rat fallen. And again, OG, a more dominant team here, and it would take some serious magic. Hands of Piranha, Dechira, but I think most importantly, Milan and Mag, right? These 2 initiation heroes, they need to be able to catch, like we saw previously, the Dazzle. Maybe look for the TA when Refraction's down, get the silence going, but it's oh so hard, especially when Mag is solo dying there to Rezo, already expending the defensive abilities to get away from S4 and Fly. TA just rips apart the puck, top lane. Jerax gets the carapace back to Piranha with that damage, but the double raise arrives and they get something. but it's only a Nyx and they've lost their puck, so this is going to be a 4v4 defense of the bot lane as Resolution. Whew. Goodbye, Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, he pops that BKB and he has no fear at all. He knows Fly has his back. It's absolutely needed, but not needed at all, and he just goes in and pops. And they know that this puck cannot buyback because he used the buyback in the previous fight. They really feel safe going for it.
PD killing bears through the grave. Fly kept it alive a little bit longer than real. No Tail with the really nice split push here. He's got himself another illusion with a Radiance up at the top. Previous ones does die, but they focus in on the Spirit Bear now. Savage Rule will be ready for when this rage expires. Team Milan holding on for a jump there, but the Radiance comes back in from that illusion, stops his Blink from doing anything, while bottom Dream Coil in from Mag does catch the 3. Yeah, no, a Blink out now, a re-entry is S4, again the big epicenter, but it's not going to be enough this time. Resolution wasn't able to rejoin the fight. After he blinked out, he couldn't get back in. Sprint away as quickly as he possibly can. No Bear. Not able to do anything across the other side of the map, so PD hold on to their base for now, and OG come back, lick their wounds, likely wait for the next Roshan cycle. Try everything all over again, which is probably where PD try and break the mold, right? Try and break that chain of decisions from and that Roshan.
Yeah, they have two decisions to make. One is, when do we think we have the best team? Or where do we match up the best against? Obviously, there's not going to be any fight that's like either going to be a Roshan, but we need to pick which of these do we want. Do we feel like it's too hard to fight into them with Aegis, and we're going to fight them at the... Or do we think we have a positioning advantage? And most likely they're going to prep for one of two. And if you look at J4, he's probably going to place forwards either on the Roshan, or if they wanted to fight at the high ground, it would have been outside of these. Looks like they want to make their stand up.
The classic. Lifestealer walks in, walks out, Roshan spawn.
You always have that thought in the... I wait. But then you never do it, because you're like, ah, I wouldn't be that unlucky.
Well, it's also like the sunk time fallacy. I've seen some players sit in Roshan, and every second that passes is like, well, next second is spawn, right? The next second, 10 seconds, minute, maybe. Nice. S4, in and out. Hit by the enchant totem, Resolution. Oh, he arrives in style. Nice backstab though from PD, catches Fly as the Dazzle takes a tumble with the BKB from Barania, allowing the Requiem to come. It's not going to do enough damage though as Resolution, he is the king in this game. 9-0-3, unkilled, untouched, and unstoppable at this point as he clears up through PD's ranks. One by one they will fall. Mag has a phase shift and a blink. If he's timed this right, he can jump away, but into the waiting arms of S4. Yules into missed Burrow Strike, unfortunately. But Jirax, oh, the finishing touch. It's Resolution that brings puck down. And in the meantime, No Tail keeps the push going. Good Spirit Bear in, S4 onto the Shadow Fiend. Is this a buyback SF? I know someone did. The Earthshaker will try and get into battle, but it's too little too late. GG is called, and OG will be your first qualified team from Europe, going through to the Katowice Major. Commiserations, their Planet Dog, who had a pretty good effort going through this bracket, but they just met an opponent who was a little too polished, a little too well-rounded in their team fights, their cohesion, their map movement, everything just clicked for OG.
Whereas I felt